Hello and welcome to our live broadcast. Today we are going to be talking about 4 steps to food freedom. And if you feel like you're still stuck in that diet mentality or you can't find your groove with the lifestyle that you're trying to create to help you get to that point where we feel like we're aging successfully and you are finding the results that you're looking for with intermittent fasting and developing a keto-like lifestyle, these 4 tips should help you get on the right path or help you maybe decide to join our upcoming course in July. So welcome if you're joining us live. I always appreciate when you guys can make the time to join us live and engage in this conversation with us. If you're catching us on the rebroadcast, we welcome you as well. And if you would just mind taking a second, wouldn't mind taking a second to leave me a comment, whether you're here live or you're jumping on the rebroadcast. That way I know that you stopped by and I can swing by and leave a comment and welcome you as well. Always feel free to jump in the conversation. You can leave your comments or questions or aha moment anytime during the conversation today if something that I'm saying is resonating with you. And then always feel free to share these broadcasts as well. The more women that we can get on this journey with us and really creating a lifestyle that will help them look and feel their best and live their most authentic life, the better everyone will be for that, because we know as women we are usually the ones who are leading the force in these types of things. So with that being said, the biggest struggle we have with creating a lifestyle like this with intermittent fasting and trying to figure out what foods are going to work for us and to really heal ourselves from that diet mentality and the self-sabotaging and the justification for doing things that we know in the long run will eventually do harm to us, but in the short term feel like they're the quick fix for us. We really have to become connected to our body and understand why it is we're making these decisions and why it is we cannot free ourselves from something as simple as food when we really get down to the bare bones of what food does for us. Really, what we should think about when we're thinking about food and creating this freedom from food emotionally is why it is we eat in the first place. What is it about nutrition that we really need to think about to sustain our life? So we want to make sure that we understand why it is we need to eat. And so the first thing we need to really tune into and have a basic understanding of is our hunger hormones. So many of us get to this stage of life where we're going through perimenopause or in menopause or postmenopausal, and we haven't ever taken the time to understand what is signaling us to need to eat, or what is signaling us to crave something, or what is signaling us to want something in the moment when we know in the long run it's not going to be good for us. And that really does come down to our hunger hormones. We think about being out of balance hormonally and our mind naturally goes to the obvious hormones, testosterone, progesterone, estrogen, when really those hormones can't even get into balance until we understand and balance out our hunger hormones. And that is the first step in food freedom, in really understanding what those signals are that are coming at us from our body and what we should do when they happen. And that really is where we get the saying and what we really focus on in the first week of our intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course, and that is hungry is where the magic happens. And when you understand when your body is in a state of hunger and what those signals are that we're receiving from that state of hungry, how powerful of a place that can be if we can find comfort in that. Oftentimes when we feel hunger or our hunger hormones are out of balance, it puts us in a state of panic and we get into that fight or flight, and oftentimes we can get into fight, flight, and then frenzy type of feeling because we feel out of control. When we feel like our body is hungry, we associate that with starvation, and we associate that with weakness, and we associate that with something being wrong, when the reality is everything is right. When you're establishing a fasting window and you're fasting correctly, a state of hungry is a signal that everything that you are doing is working. But you have to understand why that is. And that is why we spend a whole week on that in our intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course. So the first step to obtaining food freedom is understanding your hunger hormones and how they can work for you, and then finding comfort in that. The second step that you can take to really find food freedom and find comfort in that is when we eat foods that will allow us to look and feel our best. Period. End of sentence. We stop justifying and rationalizing with ourselves and then self-sabotaging eating foods that ultimately make us feel bad. And if we feel bad, we usually aren't looking our best either. We're probably bloated, or we have a puffy face, or we have areas of our body that we're not happy with because we're accumulating fat there. But yet we will take the time and the mental energy to have a conversation with ourselves about justifying the foods that will end up making us looking and feeling that way. And then we kind of recoil back, and then we talk to ourselves in such a negative way and punish ourselves for all that justification and all that mental energy that we just spent saying it was going to be okay in that moment. So we really have to take the time to identify those foods that will allow us to look and feel our best. When we do that, we can be free from those confines that food tends to put us in, where we rationalize a this for that, or I'm going to do this but then I'm going to punish myself with some exercise later, or I'm going to eat this today and then I'm going to deny myself XYZ tomorrow. And that really is where we end up being in this sort of food prison, and we want to be free of that. So listening to the signs and signals that your body is sending you and establishing the foods that will allow you to look and feel your best. End of sentence. That's where you really live the majority of your life. And then the third step that we can take to free ourselves or get into a food freedom sort of lifestyle is eliminate overeating. We are so stuck on a specific amount of calories that we should be consuming in a day. We have apps that tell us how to do that. We have diet plans that tell us how to do that. We have gurus that tell us that we should be consuming a certain amount of calories, and not in any one of those situations is there an opportunity for you to express what your wants, needs, and desires are for your own life. Yet you're hard and fast following a protocol of calories that some stranger is telling you you should be consuming. I had a consult call with a woman today, and I said we should really be implementing the stranger danger approach to information that we're receiving that tells us we have to absolutely do something when it has no regard to how we're living our life and how our own personal body chemistry is working and what makes us happy. So if there is someone that is telling you that you're supposed to be eating a certain portion of foods a day, or that you're supposed to be following a food pyramid, or you're supposed to have X number of calories in your day, or else bad things are going to happen to you, then you need to raise the stranger danger flag and think about why it is you're taking advice about your life and your overall health and well-being from an absolute stranger. Only you should be the one that's determining that for you. If you're not hungry, don't feed yourself. Feeding a satisfied body is overeating. We do not want to be those women, and we do not want to be stuck in the confines of someone else's plans for us when they have no idea what our plans for ourselves are. So the third step to creating a food freedom type of lifestyle is eliminate overeating. Just apply common sense. Don't feed a fed body. Trust your body. Your body knows what it needs to do, and it knows what it needs from you. And if you have those hunger hormones balanced out in step one, you will never have to worry about overeating again. Then the fourth step is have the desire to age successfully. When every decision that you are making is based on how you want to live your tomorrow and how successfully you want to age, you can be free from these food confines that we've been living by. I see a lot of advice given to women in a lot of these big groups that we have, and I am hosting a big community group as well with people who have not taken my course, and I cringe at the advice that women who are taking from absolute strangers in these community type forums. Think for yourself, ladies. How is it that you want to live your life? Do you want to live your life with energy? Do you want to live your life with mental clarity? Do you want to live your life waking up every day excited about how your body is functioning? Do you want to live your life every day excited about the opportunity you have to walk into your closet and put on some clothes and feel fantastic in them? Do you want to live your life in abundance around the people that you love? If you said yes to any of those or all of those things, then you have to start thinking for yourself. The only way to age successfully is to take control of our own lives and stop asking these questions and expecting complete strangers to tell you how to live. That is not the way to age successfully. We have an opportunity, especially today in the way our world is, that we as women have the right and the power to take care of ourselves. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you how you're supposed to age in your own life. Please start taking responsibility for yourself so that you can age successfully. So the 4 steps that I feel every woman should take to free themselves of food and the confines of food and the pressure of food and the guilt of food and the self-sabotage of food are: 1, understand your hunger hormones and then trust them so your other hormones will balance out. 2, eat foods that will allow you to look and feel your best. End of period. Don't make any exceptions. Number 3, eliminate overeating. If you're still overeating or you don't trust that you do not have to be counting macros and or calories or portion out your food anymore, go back to step 1. You haven't balanced out your hunger hormones yet and you don't trust them. And then number 4, age successfully on your terms. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you how to live your life or how to feed your body. Figure it out for yourself. Once you figure it out for yourself, you are free. You will never have to do a diet again. You will never have to count on a magic pill or elixir to get you what you want. You won't have to self-soothe or self-medicate or rely on food in any other way than what it's intended for. When you create your own life and you have standards about how you want to live and how you want to feel as you're aging. Think about everything based on how you want to live your tomorrows, and I promise you, you will start to age successfully. So I hope that helps you. I know food is that thing that we don't always know where to place it, and we don't always know how to handle it in our life, and because a lot of us haven't really identified how our personalities and how our energies and how our food and life stories affect the decisions we make today still as 50-something-year-old women or 60 or 70 or 80-year-old women, that is where we're really kind of cheating ourselves. We have to take the time to understand our body and really know that we have some strongholds on us that we need to learn how to deal with. We have to do the work and feel free of some of those past wounds or confines that we've built around ourselves so that we can start acting accordingly and we can start living happy around what it is that we say we want it for ourselves. There is no day that you should ever justify feeling bad about because of food. Food should be that thing that makes you look and feel your best, and then you should take that step further and really create that authentic life for you so that you can be conscious and present and happy and healthy and aging successfully for as long it is as it is that you are granted an opportunity to wake up every morning and stand up and live your life and your days. So do the work. If you need help, this is one of the things that I really think the course that we have online helps a lot of women for, is when you don't trust yourself, trust the information, trust the course, trust the lesson that you get every day, and know that the information that you are getting in the course that you're joining is from myself and thousands of other women who have already gone through this process, and that we are here to help you create the foundation and help you have the time and the resources that you need to build trust with yourself in an environment where you will be comforted and nurtured and have the time and the resources that you need to get the work done. It's a little scary to do on our own sometimes, and so that's why this course has been so beneficial to so many women. So I hope these 4 tips are something that you'll think about as you go through your week, and have some honest conversations with yourself about how it is that you're making these decisions. How much are you justifying? How much are you letting in? How much are you still relying on someone else to tell you what to do, or are you still in those fight and flight and then sort of frantic modes about, are you eating enough, or should you have eaten this thing, or can I do this, or how am I feeling? And really take the time to sit back, take a deep breath, and relax and trust yourself for sure. So let me welcome everyone on Facebook, and then I'll answer questions and comments from everyone on YouTube. So if you haven't left a comment yet, now's a perfect time to do so, and I'll go through these as quickly as I can. Diane from Pennsylvania, always good to see you. Melissa from Florida. August, grad girl, catching you live today. Awesome, girl. I'm so happy to have you joining us from Florida. And then Nancy from Alberta, Canada. Good to have you with us. Amy's here. Let's see, I was originally in the August 2017 IF class. I wore that same shirt yesterday. This one, yes, this is one of my favorite shirts. I absolutely love it. We're doing some furniture moving around in our house today, so it's super comfortable and light in this heat and humidity here in Texas. Sue, graduate from the February 2019. Love all your encouragement. Keeps me going. Awesome, girlfriend. Sounds like you're doing the work and you're seeing the results, so congratulations. Kathleen, good to have you with us today. Teresa is here, September 2018 grad. Diane, 2017 grad. Love that I know stomach growling is my sweet spot. Yes, for sure. I love having my stomach growl. That's how I know that I'm doing everything correctly. So just because your hunger hormones are balanced doesn't mean you're not going to get hungry signals. It just means that you interpret those signals in a different way, and that you know that that's your power position and not your weak position, for sure. So yeah, I always look forward to a good old stomach growl. And then Grace Ann, struggling, but I keep going. Awesome, girlfriend. That's the thing, is when you're creating a lifestyle, struggle is real, because life happens and things are going to come up and throw you a little bit off track. But you always have a base to come back to, and you always have this community to come back to kind of just refresh your energy and your enthusiasm about what you're doing. So just keep coming back, for sure. And then Amy, sometimes the advice may come from our own loved ones, family, friends, and colleagues. They may be saying it out of love and providing the research they did for their own body. It's our personal choice and responsibility to make choices and then do the research. Yeah, for sure. And I always say listen to advice, because you never know, like, just because someone gives you a blanket piece of advice doesn't mean that there's not bits and pieces of it, that advice, that you might want to consider. And so I always say be open to tweak things, be open to experiment on things, but the freer you are from food, the more opportunity you have to test something out. And if it doesn't work, you're not going to freak out about it. And so I think that's the thing that is the most healing benefit of this lifestyle, is when you're emotionally and mentally healed, that you can have some days that aren't perfect and it's going to be okay, as opposed to having a day that's a little bit less than perfect and feel like you need to throw in the towel, or you're self-sabotaging or speaking negatively to yourself. So great advice there, Amy, for sure. Amanda, September 2018 grad, best thing I've ever done for myself. Awesome, girlfriend. I'm so glad that you're still hanging in there. Diane, you're welcome for the tips, for sure. Kathleen, thanks for the comment. She says this is great common sense. And then Marie, April 2019 class, and then Allison is here as well. Okay, so I'm going to jump on my iPad real quick, and I'll read all the comments that have come in on YouTube. And again, always, if you have a question or a comment about any of these 4 things that I mentioned, always feel free to put it in the comment section, and I will get those answered for you while we're here live. Let's see, Gels, mommy, almost 20 hours right now, may just wait till tomorrow morning. Yeah, that's another great thing, is when you're feeling strong in your fasting window, unless there's a reason that you're breaking it, like you're trying to build consistency, or I always recommend when you're trying to balance out your hunger hormones, consistency is really key there, so your body gets kind of adjusted to what, and trusts you about what it is you're doing. But then when you're really mature in your fasting and you're really confident about what you're doing, I say if you can push things through, always go with that sign and signal as well. So congrats on that. Have a great fast. Liliana from California, Shannon in the July course, Lori from Alaska, Karen, how much is the class? There's a link in the comment section.
It's your sign.
Okay, cool. Debbie from Texas. Debbie, did you get affected by that storm last night that came rolling through here? It was awful. Jay 2019 grad from May, Portland, Oregon. Still loving the new freedom from food crazies and fixing years of incorrect mindset. Yeah, for sure. Food crazies are a real thing. And I think sometimes we think it's weird crazy, and it's not weird crazy. It's just food's kind of making us crazy. So we need to really get control of that and make sure we're putting the blame where the blame needs to go. Violet, May graduate, still struggling with how well will I feast? However, my family becomes more supportive. Haven't lost a pound since May, but able to fast around 16 to 18 hours regularly. Violet, I would say if you're feeling like you need to if you're not seeing the results that you want, you have to push to that 20 hours. And I know for a lot of women, they're really hesitant about that, but the 20 hours is the magic mark. And I think it's just because it's that amount of time from our insulin levels being at their lowest, that extra 2 hours is just what's going to create that big difference for you. So I would highly recommend pushing things if you can, for sure. Sheila from Florida, thanks for jumping on. Debbie had my magic happening this morning. I love that statement. Yeah, I'm currently in the magical state myself. What are we at? Like 22 hours? We're 22 hours clean fasted today, and we're feeling fantastic. So yeah, it's magical for sure. Debbie, I've always been a big rationalizer. Great to feel this freedom. Yep, for sure. Ann from Phoenix, I've been enjoying your videos and wisdom, giving my body a total break from food today because yesterday's window was filled with food that doesn't allow me to look and feel my best. Yeah, and you can do that too. There's always that nice little bit where you can kind of ebb and flow, and it's the mindset around the ebb and flow that's really important. So just make sure that if you have a day of feasting on foods that don't allow you to look and feel your best, that you have the right mindset going into your next fast and make it an empowering mindset and not a punishment mindset, for sure. And it sounds like that's what you're doing, Ann, so good for you. Debbie, big aha right now about calorie intakes. Thanks so much. Yeah, for sure. Never feed a fed body. Let's see, Terry, February 2019 grad, spent the last month wedding planning with my daughter, sadly lost my momentum. Time to refocus on my own health needs again. Yes, for sure, Debbie. All you have to do is make those ask those 2 questions of yourself. How long will you fast? How well will you feast? Establish those windows and then go about your business. You'll be right back in before you know it. Jeannie, could you please describe some of your favorite go-to meals? Love your channel. I'm down 50 pounds since February. Fantastic, Jeannie. If you want meal ideas, you have to go to my Instagram page. That's where I post all my feasting things. I don't have the desire to be a food blogger or a recipe book maker or any of those things. So I just show pictures on Instagram and give a brief description of what I'm eating to kind of incite some ideas for you as well. And that's really what I strongly recommend in this community of women is don't be too tied to a recipe book or a certain set of meals. Just look at food. Think about how you can combine what it is you have available and make a meal out of it. And so that's what I do on my Instagram page. So there's a link in the comment section to how to find me on Instagram. That's the best place to go. What do you think about Ramadan fasting? I think you have to fast for what you want to fast for. And if that works for you, I think that's great. Adam, Ann, I have been doing 1 meal a day with amazing results. I have done 24 IF previously, but 1 meal a day is on another level. Your thoughts on 1 meal a day? I think anything that you do in your 24 hours of intermittent fasting, how you establish your fasting window and how you establish your feasting window is a very personal thing based on your own body chemistry and where you thrive. So if 1 meal a day works for you, then I say 1 meal a day works for you for sure. There are just some people that they need to have more than one than that, so you have to adjust accordingly. But if you're finding the place that you thrive, then thrive for sure. Sherry, a May graduate, loving the flexibility and the lifestyle makes it easier to stick to, that's for sure. Debbie Stewart, I'm wanting to find a good shake to occasionally use to break my fast, something easy to carry along. Any suggestions? Debbie, send me an email for sure, or you can go to the For Today's Aging Woman blog and search for Di's Break Fast Shake. I think there's 2 posts on my blog, so it's easy, just swipe up till you find it. And it has everything that I do for my break fast shake there, or you can email me for sure. Let's see. Lisa, you're in my head and I love it. Awesome. Went to a party yesterday, took a bite of food and tasted it and decided not worth eating. I spit it out, felt like I had control of my eating habit for once. That's awesome. Yeah, you take the napkin and you kind of do politely, one of these deals or whatever. Yeah, for sure. Sometimes we just react in the moment, and if you can catch yourself, that's being conscious, and that's a big win. Oftentimes we do things without thinking because we're unconscious. We're thinking about something else. We're thinking about the guilt or the should I's and should I nots. And so being conscious made you do that. And I think that that's a huge win. And I'm glad that you recognize that and put that together. And then next time you're in that situation, you'll pause before you put something in your mouth because of that situation that you just created for yourself. So I think that that is fantastic. And I think it's hilarious. I would love to be at a party with you because I would probably do the same exact thing. Debbie, no, thankfully, but close. I'm guessing she's talking about the damage.
The storm,
yeah. Well, I'm glad that you didn't have anything bad happen to you. We didn't have anything here either, just a bunch of leaves. And then Adam, thank you so much. You're welcome. Keep at it. If 1 meal a day is working for you, I say there's no reason to do anything else. And then Debbie, my broccoli question up above. Debbie, broccoli question. Do you see a broccoli question, Michael?
I didn't see one.
Debbie, just ask it again, and I'll see if I can ask it again. So it's at the bottom.
I don't think it came through. I don't see it.
Yeah. So Debbie, ask it again, and I'll see if I can answer it for you. And then Adam says 1 meal a day is the best fit for me. It was a gradual process from for sure. Yeah, for sure. Like and then some people go like they fast 36 hours like on the regular, and there's people who fast 48 hours on the regular. So it's just that familiarity and the comfort level that your body has, and it sounds like you have it. So I would say keep striving for that.
Oh, she asked, how do you cook it in the air fryer?
How do you cook it in the air fryer? So broccoli, you just kind of put it in little pieces. I spray it with my Chosen Foods avocado oil and put a little sea salt on it, and then you just put it on. There's I think it's like a Mine has little pictures of different kinds of foods. I think about 350, and then you just kind of pop it in for however that long that setting is. Pull it out. I shake it up. I test it. I put it back in. I keep spraying oil on it. So it's just however soft you want your broccoli to be will be the time. So I just test mine. We like ours a little al dente, a little bit on the crisper side, and then once it gets to that point, then we take it out and eat it. So it's that thing you're gonna have to play with until you find the nuances of your air fryer, and then you'll know what time and temperature to put yours on for sure. Let me see if there's anything else over here on Facebook. Abby, follow 16:8 and find that some days I don't feel hungry after 17 plus hours. You suggest that I fast as long as I can, even though the time won't always be as long. Yeah, so again, that's that thing that you don't have to worry about that. Like, unless you're in the beginning stages of fasting, and this is what I teach in the course, that you should keep a constant schedule for a few weeks while you're balancing things out, so your body learns to trust you and you learn to trust your body. Past that, once you are really confident and you're not emotionally eating anymore, and you're feasting on foods that will help you look and feel your best, then I say if you're not hungry, don't eat. Even if you're on a 20-hour fast and a 4-hour feast, if you're just gonna graze for 4 hours, that's fine too. It's all just kind of going with the flow of it and not trying to be perfect, not overdoing it, not self-sabotaging, and making really good decisions about how you're feeling at that moment for sure. And then Diane, love stranger danger flag. Yeah, for sure. You got to make sure that you're waving that bad boy. And then Shannon, to break my fast, I use the Vega plant-based blended with a whole avocado, scoop of collagen peptides with almond milk. Okay, so if that's worked for you, I think that's great. I've tried that shake before and it didn't work for me. Again, it's a body chemistry thing. You've got to be willing to try and experiment, see what works for you, see what doesn't, and then keep tweaking things until you find your magic thing. The shake that I drink on my break fast shake, I've been drinking almost every day of my life for the past 9 years. It just works for me. I've sampled every kind of vegan shake and they just don't work for me the same way that one does. So you got to find what works for you for sure. And then Ruthie, you are the best testament for IF. Been watching you for 2.5 years. Your skin, hair, body, you glow, girl. I see the difference in you. Thanks for your support and wisdom. Ruthie, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I definitely feel like I'm aging successfully, and I can honestly say 4 years ago, when I was in my late 40s, I thought, oh my gosh, if this is as good as it's going to get, I'm kind of like not happy about my future at all. I was really dismal and depressed about aging and And men age so much differently than women. I thought, oh gosh, I'm gonna be this old lady next to my husband, and it's gonna be awful. And when are people gonna think that I'm my daughter's grandmother and not her mother, because I'm 40 years older than her? And I was like dreading all of these things, and I don't have any of those dreads anymore at all. I feel super confident, I feel super healthy, I feel super happy, and I can honestly say that I feel like I'm aging successfully. So I know that the things that I'm doing in my day are the things that are definitely working for me, and I'm going to share as much of that with you guys as I possibly can, and also give you the advice and encouragement to figure you out too. You can't mimic what I'm doing. There are some things that you could try, see if they work for you, but you can't live my day the way I live my day. You will not get the same results. So the power really is with you and making the decisions that you need, for sure.
Carol, if you go back up a little bit, there's Carol.
Oh, Carol. Let's see, from Scotland. Welcome, girlfriend. Love intermittent fasting, doing well. Also keto diet, lost 15 pounds so far. Fantastic. I think that's great. And you sounds like you're happy about it, which is great. Bernadette, can we ever cook the nutrition out of kale or spinach? I don't know. Like, I can. I mean, I'm sure you can cook some of it out of it. But we're the kind of family that we don't overcook anything. We like things a little crisper, so I'm guessing that we probably don't. So it probably just depends. I would say those are those little nuanced things that will drive you absolutely crazy. So find the way that you like kale, find the way that you like spinach, and then eat it that way, and know that that's not the be all end all. You gotta have a balanced diet and a balanced nutrition, and that's just one aspect of it. So find what works for you, and then just enjoy the heck out of it and supplement things in other ways, for sure. And then learning so much from your videos. Thank you. Finally figuring out at 65. Karen, it's definitely not too late. We are expected to live well into our 90s and our hundreds. So me and Micah were talking the other day. It's like, dang, we're at the halfway point. We want the next 50 years of our life to be better and more in control than the first 50. And we had an amazing first 50, but we had a lot of growing struggles with starting a family and finding our careers and getting out of college and all of those things. And woo, those are done. Now we can really want to create for ourselves and hopefully not have too many hiccups get in our way. And that really is the ultimate goal. So the next 50 or 40 or whatever for us should be fantastic, because we get to plan it out. And I think that's aging successfully, for sure. And then Jeannie, thank you for answering. I subscribe to your Instagram for the pictures. Awesome. And then Adam, I know that herbal teas are okay to drink during the fasting window without raising insulin levels. How about apple cider vinegar? Is it okay to consume with warm water in the fasting window? Okay, Adam, if you're asking my advice, I say no. When you're fasting, you should be fasting. Now, I know that there's people who also say that apple cider vinegar has a lot of great health benefits. So again, that has to be a personal choice that you make. I really do teach do nothing and embrace everything in your fast. You can really simplify this and clean fast and do absolutely nothing for you as a 1 meal a day person for 23 hours of your day. But if you find personally that apple cider vinegar is that thing that just puts an extra skip in your step or does something special for you, and it's not deterring the results that you want, then I say it's not going to hurt you in any way. It's just that if we can simplify our lives and not have to constantly be reaching for things to fix things or make us feel like we're doing it better, and it's making us feel a little crazy that we have to do those things, then just eliminate them and just have a nice clean fast with some water. But if it's working for you, then I say do it for sure. And Jeannie, you're welcome. I think, did I get them all, Michael?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And let's see. Shannon, to break my fast. Okay, I already read that one. And I think I've got everybody. daysagingwoman.com/blog. And you'll see 2 posts there. One's about estrogen and the other one's about how I break my fast. You can also search my YouTube channel for how I break my fast. There's a video there as well. That way you guys can just go do your own research and then figure out what works best for you. And then I'm always open to emails as well. So if you email me at dyannparhamfitness at gmail.com, I'll answer those questions as well. So that's all the time I have today. I hope these 4 steps that I gave for you will be things that you will sit down and consider working into your everyday life. They're really simple steps. They really will help you simplify what you're trying to do, and they will help you get to the goals that you're searching for faster, not only from the physical aspect of healing, but also from the emotional and mental aspect of feeling, and how you can just completely simplify your life and get everything that you want out of it as well. Thanks so much for jumping on live with us. Thank you to everyone who's going to jump onto the rebroadcast of this as well. Always feel free to share this. Always feel free to hit that like button if what the information that we shared with you today helped you in any way. Make sure you're subscribed, and then I will see you back here on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we will discuss another topic related to intermittent fasting and creating a keto-like lifestyle.